Hello and welcome to day 137 of the live daily guided meditation series for ourselves and the world. Thank you for continuing to show up for this important anti-racism, self-development, and healing work, and for continuing to share your love with yourself, each other, and the world. So we will get started in just a moment. I'm going to find my quote. Okay, so I'm going to hop in. Again, welcome. Thank you for joining. We are still going through some really wonderful quotes from the fantastic book I'm Still Here, Black Dignity in a World Made for Whiteness by Austin Channing Brown. Highly recommend it. So today we are going to focus on this quote. She writes, in 1961, James Baldwin, perhaps the greatest American essayist of the 20th century, stated the following in a recorded panel discussion. To be a Negro in this country and to be relatively conscious is to be in a rage almost all the time. So that the first problem is how to control that rage so that it won't destroy you. Part of the rage is this. It isn't only what is happening to you, but it's what is happening all around you, all of the time, in the face of the most extraordinary and criminal indifference. The indifference and ignorance of most white people in this country. Baldwin wasn't lying. I have become very intimate with anger. It is rage-inducing to be told that we can do anything we put our minds to when we work at companies and ministries where no one above middle management looks like us. It is rage-inducing to know my body is being judged differently at every turn, when I am late to work, when I choose to eat lunch alone, when I'm expressing hurt or anger. I become either a stand-in for either another Black female body without distinction between our size, our hair, our color, our voices, our interests, our names, our personalities, or a stand-in for the worst stereotypes, sassy, disrespectful, uncontrollable, or childlike and in need of whiteness to protect me from my Black self. These indignities follow us home too, when we open the newspaper or turn on the TV. Gross references to Serena Williams' body as animal-like, the reinforcement of Black inferiority, as when the New York Times publishes a piece saying Viola Davis is not classically beautiful. The media often seems gleeful when given the opportunity to tear down Black women. And if not careful, these attacks can chip away at our self-esteem. But words are hardly the worst of it. If we look at statistics and standards of living, we find a host of racial disparities that have persisted over decades. Wages, home ownership, job accessibility, healthcare, treatment by law enforcement, and the list goes on. For us, these aren't just statistics. They are the facts of life for us and our mothers, our sisters, our friends, and neighbors. Meanwhile, whiteness twiddles its thumbs with feigned innocence and shallow apologies. Diversity gets treated like a passing trend, a friendly group project in which everyone takes on equal risks and rewards. In the mind of whiteness, half-baked efforts at diversity are enough because the status quo is fine. It is better than slavery, better than Jim Crow. What more could Black people possibly ask than this, to not be overtly subject to the white bill? Is there more, white innocence asks before bursting into tears at the possibility that we would dare question its sincerity. It's hard to be calm in a world made for whiteness. So today in our meditation, we're going to contemplate this. And I also want us to think about how anger and rage are differently interpreted when we're seeing it through a race lens. When we look at people of color and they are angry, if we have different understandings of, what our mind does, if they think like, does how does that translate for us? And because it for white people, it tends to be different across racial lines. And so we want to be really cognizant of this and really go into it, because why wouldn't someone who has been, groups of people who have been oppressed, be angry? They should be angry. They deserve to be angry, because what happened to them is not right. What has happened has not been right. And so we need to also kind of come to understand our relationship to anger within ourselves and with other people in general. Because when we can understand how we respond with anger or to anger, we can start to unpack it and understand what's behind anger. Because anger is not just something that comes out of nowhere with just an angry person. It's something that is built upon and comes rooted from a very deeply hurted place. So we will consider that as we meditate today. So you can close your eyes and we will start breathing. So you're taking long, deep, slow breaths in through your nose, feeling the inflation of your stomach and your lungs, feeling the shift from inhale to exhale and exhale to inhale. And then allowing your breath to leave your body with an audible sigh. With every audible sigh, we're allowing ourselves to relax a little bit more. Start grounding, centering, and finding stillness. And tuning in to any body sensations we may be experiencing, and any judgments we may be having about them. Tuning into our mood or any emotions we may be feeling. And any judgments that may be coming up from that. Tuning into our thoughts and any judgments we may be having of those thoughts. Tuning in to whatever sounds we may be hearing, or anything else in our experience right now. Maybe smells, tastes, temperature. And noticing any judgments we may be having about any of these things we're experiencing. And remembering we're not trying to change anything. We're not trying to judge it. Just allowing ourselves to be in the present moment with our full present moment mindful awareness. And when we're able to be present with ourselves, our feelings, our emotions, body sensations, sounds, thoughts, judgments, we're able to experience them and see them clearly. And then we can make informed change if necessary. Bringing our mindful awareness to ourselves, all of the parts we experience, takes our power back. And we are far more powerful than we often give ourselves credit for. And so in this space, considering for a moment, once again, your understanding of anger and rage. How do you address anger and rage when you're the one who's angry or enraged? How do you experience anger and rage when someone else is angry or enraged? Does your experience change depending on who the person is? Does your experience change depending on what they're upset about? What is your relationship? How do you understand rage and race together? Be very honest with yourself. If you see a person of color angry, what is that experience for you? How is that different than when you see a white person angry? How do you understand anger in general? Are you able to see past the anger to the hurt and pain that has created the anger? Is that dependent on other factors? This is a big topic, so we're going to continue exploring it, and you'll continue exploring it in your life as well. For now, I'd like you to start thinking about a place that feels really good to you. A place where you feel happy and healthy, loved and loving, peaceful and calm, safe and connected, whole and complete. Allow these good feelings to permeate every part of you. Inside and out, with your heart rate aglow in the center of your chest. And with every breath in, your heart rate will grow and expand easily and effortlessly, filling the whole of your chest, and then the whole of your body, blessing each and every cell in your body with your love and your light. And your heart rate continues to grow and expand, bursting out of your body into the space around you, filling your home, your place of work, or wherever you may be right now, blessing this space and every living being in it with your love and your light. And your heart rate continues to grow and expand out into your neighborhood, your town, your city, engulfing your entire state, your province, your territory, engulfing your entire country, or nation, and engulfing your entire continent, blessing each and every living being on your continent with your love and your light. And your heart light continues to grow and expand deep down into Mother Earth, connecting to her wisdom, her abundance, and her harmony. As you bless her with your love and your light, as you come into resonance with Mother Earth. And your heart light continues to grow and expand, engulfing the entire planet in your heart light, in your love. Blessing each and every living being, each and every person, each and every group of people, each and every government, business, system, institution, organization, and policy, each and every plant and animal, and especially those who are struggling, suffering, hurting, or in pain right now, including Black, Indigenous people of color, and anyone affected by COVID-19. They are surrounded in love. They are supported, understood, appreciated. And that we may live in a world and create a world, a present, and a future that is more healing, more loving, more just, and more equitable for the highest and greatest good of all. That we may never forget our connection to each other and our responsibility to create a more loving, more healing, more just, and more equitable world, present and future, for all. Our heart light continues to grow and expand out into every part of space, infinitely expanding, just as the universe is infinitely expanding, just as the divine is infinitely expansive, because you are the universe and the divine. You are infinite, and you are love. We're going to sit in this expanded state of love for a moment longer, considering again our relationship and understanding of anger and rage, and how that changes when we see it through our racial lens. Being kind to ourselves as we may discover that we do see it through a racial lens. It needs dismantling, disentangling, because we are up to the task. Remembering, as I forget who said it, but rage is the language of the oppressed. I believe it was Martin Luther King. And keeping that in mind as we move forward, as we see things more clearly, understanding, love, empathy. You can feel free to stay in this space for however long you like. Or start taking a few deep breaths, knowing that you take this love and new understanding and perspective with you as you come back into this present moment, into your body, into the space around you. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes. Thank you so much for joining for day 137 of the live daily guided meditation series for ourselves and the world. Thank you for continuing to share your love and for continuing to do this really important anti-racism, self-development, and healing work. As always, Black Lives Matter, we matter, and together we are changing the world for the better. Have a wonderful rest of your day.